Erev Tov, everyone. We're starting today a new halachot. It's Siman 340. Siman, the halacha about Kotev, writing on Shabbat. Some people mistakenly think that writing is only taking a pencil or a pen or a marker and writing something or signature. But today we'll see that it's not exactly that. And if you didn't know, writing on Shabbat is prohibited. In Beit HaMikdash, on the Mishkan, on the tabernacle, in the desert, they used to write. They used to write on the boards the numbers of them with letters to know which board, where the board was, and the pillars and everything. And Hashem says, do not work on Shabbat, meaning you can't do any active work or whatever you used to do on a mundane day, on a Yemei Chol, you can do on Shabbat. Part of it is the writing. Now, I want to know if writing is limited to pencil, pen, or marker, or what about using a spray? I have a spray like a graffiti. Is that considered writing? Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'akol nihyo bidvaro. I want to dedicate this shiur to my aunt, Mazal Shlom Tzion Bat Shula Salama. Hashem give you refuah shelema, refuat nefesh, refuat guf, speedy recovery soon. You met her, you know her. Yeah. She is tzadikah. Be'ezrat Hashem, she'll get out of it soon. She's right now in Israel, and hopefully, with her family. Hopefully everything will work out. Zchut limud Torah and the zechuyot that everybody join together will be helping her very much. Okay, so using a spray on Shabbat. Let's say, you're walking by your car or a window, cold window in the winter time, and you want to write on the steam. You want to write Mazal Tov, Shalom, your name, whatever you want to write. Is that considered writing on Shabbat? Let's say with my finger on the ground, there is mud, there is sand. Let's say I'm walking on the beach on Shabbat, and I want to write there my name with my finger on the sand. Is that considered writing on Shabbat? Everything you say yes. You're very strict, Be lenient a little bit. Okay, I'm not sure yet. No, we'll see. Okay, Kotev. If someone writes at least 2 letters on Shabbat, he has committed a capital offense of Shabbat desecration, having performed the halacha of Kotev. Likewise, if someone type onto paper using a typewriter, he is guilty of this melacha, using typewriters. It's like in the 70s, right? Same with using your computer. Using computer on Shabbat, it's forbidden, Not only writing, there's another problem with that. So whoever is doing that is guilty of this melacha, writing Kotev on Shabbat, which is forbidden. If a right-handed person writes with his left hand, however, he has not performed an act that is prohibited by the Torah, since he performed the melacha in an abnormal manner. It is forbidden only by our sages. Many things that we do in an abnormal way, b'shinui, the Hebrew word that we use in this halacha means shinui, abnormal. Sometimes is permitted. For example, it's not related to what I'm talking right now, but you are stuck, sorry for that example, you're stuck in the restroom, there is no toilet paper, or tissue. The only thing that you have there is the roll. In that case, the halacha permits you to cut it, but different way. Use your left hand, for example, or use with your elbow. Don't remember, it's Shabbat, so do it in an abnormal way. Why the Torah permitted? It says mishum kvoda beriyot, because you have to clean up yourself. You can't walk out disgusting. So the Torah permit, halacha permit that in an abnormal way, which means shinui. Okay? Mm-hmm. Not the regular way, change, different. Shinui, an abnormal. Now, let's say someone want to take, dip his finger in the juice, and he wants to draw something to his friend on the table, and he wants to write something with his finger to a juice on the table on Shabbat. It's not a regular way. It's not a pen, pencil, or a marker. Halacha says it is forbidden by our sages to wet one's fingertip and then form letters with the water or juice on the table or other surface. Sometimes it happens all the time. Sometimes you talk on Shabbat and you want to explain something to someone. You can write. So let me show you. And you take it and you want to write or draw something. You can do it on Shabbat. Okay? Shalom, come on in. Have a seat. I'm sorry, there's a chair. Did you bring a chair from home? I didn't have to. Okay. You can sit down. Okay. All right. You can see you in the camera, that's fine. All right. Now, question. This is the case. We have 2 pieces of a written note. It was cut, 2 pieces. I'm putting them together, now I can read. Is that considered writing on Shabbat? Kotev? Before I couldn't read it. Together I can read it. Is that considered Kotev on Shabbat? It's not the regular way, pen, pencil, or marker. If a sheet of paper was torn down the middle, splitting many letters in half, it is permissible on Shabbat to place the pieces next to one another so that the torn letters become legible. This is not an act of melacha of Kotev. It is absolutely forbidden, though, to tape the pieces of paper together. That would be considered an act of the melacha of tofer. Tofer is sewing. Okay? Using glue could be a form of tofer. Questions? Good. Next. It's always good to get notes for every halacha we do. I recommend just write note to yourself. This is, summarize it. Be short, brief, and to the point. Now, a Bet Knesset wants to buy Aron Kodesh, Ark. An argument started between the Gabbai and the congregation. The Gabbai wants to have doors that has letters on them. But the whole pasuk, when you close the doors, there's the whole pasuk. Let's say, Shema Yisrael, Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad. Or Torat Hashem Temima, some type of pasuk. When you open it, it's a half pasuk. When you close it, you see the whole pasuk. The people in the congregation said, oh, you can't do it, because you open, you're erasing pasuk. When you put it together, you're writing a pasuk. The Gabbai says, no, it's permitted. I'm not actually writing. And what's the difference between this and the note? Putting pieces together. The question is understood. The case is understood. If the doors of the synagogue ark are decorated with verses of the Torah that are split in half each time the ark is opened and put together each time it is closed, it is permissible to open and close the ark on Shabbat. This is not considered an act of the melacha of writing or erasing, even if the letters themselves become split into 2 when the doors are open. It is nevertheless permitted. It would be best, however, if people would refrain from fashioning the synagogue ark in this fashion. So who was right? The Gabbai. Okay? But what's best? Don't do it. Just put psukim on the top. decoration put on the doors itself. David star, menorah, whatever. Okay. I want to do like that on the air to my friend. Says, "Are you coming?" And I can't talk, so I want just to tell him, "No." On the air or on the table. No. On Shabbat. Is that considered writing?
No, because it's not permanent.
So the Rebbitzin says, no, it's not permanent. Let's see. It is permissible on Shabbat to describe letters, shapes in the air with one's fingers in order to give a silent message to a friend. Likewise, one may make believe one is writing with his finger on the table in view of someone who reads the imaginary letters. This is not an act of writing, since there is no mark being made at all. Pashut, simple. Good? Good. Okay. This happens all the time, happens to me many times, when I'm reading on Shabbat, and then I see a beautiful idea. And I say, I'm going to share it with the people in the synagogue or in the class. It's a book that I just pick up randomly from my library. And I know when I put it back and after Shabbat, it takes me a while to find it. So what I want to do, I want to scratch with my fingernail a mark or X. So I'll find exactly where it is immediately when I open the book. Can I mark with my finger, with my fingernails on the book? I'm not writing, I'm just scratching. Tick, tick. It's visible, by the way. Everybody says no. Okay. But the halacha says that it is permissible on Shabbat to press one's fingernail onto the margin of a page in a book or a sheet or of parchment to mark the place. Since such a mark is only temporary, one may mark only a simple slash, however, and not form the impressions of any letters in any language or any numerals. It is forbidden, however, to make even a simple mark with an implement that makes a deep and more permanent impression. It is permissible as well to fold over the corner of the page in a book to mark one's place, and even if it forms a permanent trace in the paper. Trace is the fold. Yeah. So it's like a wrinkle, right? So it's permitted on Shabbat to fold. Everybody does that, right? Do it all the time.
Why can't you just stick like a bookmark in there?
You can, but let's say you don't have it available. Okay. Now, what about using on Shabbat a strip of thermometer? As soon as you put it on someone's forehead, it will mark the temperature. Is that considered writing on Shabbat? As explained above, in Siman 3:28-46, it is permissible on Shabbat to use a strip thermometer that, when placed on a person's forehead, illuminates the numerals corresponding to his body temperature and becomes dark when removed from the skin. This is not considered an act of writing or of erasing. Okay? We mentioned that last week. You have a shoe. Okay? Let's say you have, what is it, Diadora? Diadora. I have, let's say, Nike. You have Adidas. You have I mentioned this name because I'm getting money for it from the company. How do you call it? It's not royalty. What do you call it? Sponsor. Yeah, right. I wish. So, on Shabbat, there is a large mark at the bottom of the shoe of Nike or Adidas. As soon as you press your shoe on the mud, it will mark it. It says Adidas. It's Adidas, 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 all the way. People see it. Free advertisement for Adidas. And I'm doing it on Shabbat. Can I do that on Shabbat? Writing, like it's like a stamp. You remember from last week? Intention.
Well, if it's in a
Many brands of shoes have the brand name or the logo engraved in the sole, and when someone wearing them walks on sand or snow, the shoes imprint that name onto the ground. Nevertheless, it is permissible to wear these shoes on Shabbat, and this is not forbidden as an act of writing. The person walking has no intention of writing. You're right, Rochelle. And although it is inevitable to happen if he walks on soft surface, it's going to happen, right? This is not the normal way of writing. Furthermore, the letters imprinted in the sand or snow will not last more than a short time. Therefore, this is the case of psikresha, the lonicha lama intention concerning an act that is forbidden only by a combination of two injections of our sages. Bottom line, I'm walking. I have to walk on the sand, snow, mud. It's not my intention to imprint this logo. Therefore, it is permitted.
and it's not permanent.
Okay, maybe it's not permanent also.
Like, it's not going to stay forever.
Okay. Oh, another thing. This is also a question that I get many times. People use a combination lock or a locker or storage. So they have numbers. Now, let's say your numbers is 1, 2, 3, 4. So you do 1, 2, 3, 4 in order. It's considered as writing, placing numbers together. Can I do that on Shabbat? Open and close this lock. Or for Shabbat, to buy only the one with the key.
Better with the key if you have the option. Then you're going to carry the key.
Or I can hide it. So let's say we don't have a key. That's the only type of lock that I have. So the halacha said it is permissible on Shabbat to use the combination lock which has a series of rings that must be positioned so that they display a particular set of numeral in order to be open. This is not considered an act of writing. You see, everything is permitted today. This is so easy. I'm sorry for wasting your time. Okay, we have 3 more halachot. Let me finish with that. No, maybe 5. You know that I don't know if the people still have it today, but sometimes, do you know the carbon paper that you're writing on it, and then it copies to the next one? So the Rabbi says you should not use it, of course, on Shabbat. Don't mark it. Even if you do it with your fingers, it's like writing. It'll be guilty of writing twice. Can you turn this on, please? It's too hot here. It's considered writing on Shabbat because you're writing on the top paper and the one it was copied on. So you're guilty twice. Okay. Now, I'm giving a class on Shabbat. Someone was so excited with this class. And he says, you know what, Rabbi? I have to come with tape recorder. Actually, I have it on my phone. I'm just going to record you because I have to listen to the class later. He wants to record it. Can we do that on Shabbat? Recording a Torah class on Shabbat.
You said no last week, right?
Or, you know what? I'm going to use a timer. What time is your class? 2? 2. The timer will turn this tape recorder on. Timer. Can we do it on Shabbat? Do you see that we do it on the Bet Knesset every Shabbat? What's your conclusion from it? Huh? It doesn't matter if someone knows or not now. What's important is the result of that action, and if I can use something like that after Shabbat. A car that was fixed by a Jew on Shabbat. Can I use it on Shabbat? I can give it to a Jew, fix my car on Shabbat, right? Okay. So the halacha says, They don't want to see you, and they saw you more than they saw me. If a tape recorder was set up with a timer to record at a certain time on Shabbat, or if it was left running since Shabbat began, it is prohibited to talk into the microphone and have one's voice recorded. Although this is not an act of the melacha of Kotev, writing, and not an act of the melacha of befetish. I don't know what does that mean. Beftish. Befetish. I don't know what does that mean. I'll check it out in a second. It is forbidden for other reasons, such as the prohibition against the act of molid. Molid is creating something new. Okay? The act of creating the sound on the tape. Oh, bepatish. It says befatish. Bepatish. Make bepatish means it's finishing a melacha. Finishing, let's say the chair is not ready to be sit until you hit it the last time with the push the nail down, and this is the gemar melacha. Without you made this chair finished. It's called makeh bepatish. It's a well-known term in halacha and in the Talmud. Makeh bepatish. Okay. Someone wants from the women's section, Azanat Nashim, to take a video of their bar mitzvah boy on Shabbat using their phone on Shabbat, or else they'll miss the whole bar mitzvah. Okay. The halacha says, without question, it is forbidden to use camera to make photographs on Shabbat. For one thing, most cameras are electric, and using one involves electric circuits and a flash of light. An act of the melacha of mav'ir, burning. Some poskim rule that exposing the film is an act of the melacha of kotev, writing, no less than drawing a picture. Furthermore, whenever someone uses an electric appliance, even one powered by a battery, he causes a spark to jump between the connections, and this is an act forbidden, at least by our sages. It's like, why is it forbidden to use a copy machine? Some people says, no, it's just it's a battery operated. Yeah, there's a lot of sparks in it going on. Remember what happened to Samsung Galaxy 7? That they blew up in people's pockets? A fire? Where this fire came from? From the battery. Now you can see, understand why it's forbidden. Nevertheless, it is permissible to walk on Shabbat through streets where closed circuit cameras have been set up for security, and that photographs are street automatically throughout the day and night. It's permissible, okay? You know, we have cameras here on Preston Street. I'm on the junction. I want to cross the road. There's cameras above my head taking my video. Or everyone will be there. Yet, it's permissible, or else we can walk on the street. And it's not my intention to be videotaped. Right? Although one is sure to be photographed when walking in the area, it is not one's intention to be photographed, nor does he wishes to be photographed, since the pedestrian is certainly not guilty of performing any act forbidden by the Torah. This is not the case of second. Bottom line, it's permitted on Shabbat. Okay, 2 more halachot to go. Bezrat Hashem.
When you were talking about Beshin, it's not okay to write with your left hand.
No.
If you're normally right-handed.
No. The right hand is forbidden by the Torah. Left hand is forbidden by our sages. Either way, it's forbidden. The punishment will be less severe. Everything that is forbidden by the Torah, punishment is great. But the rabbis, because they put fence, punishment will be less. Okay, but it's still forbidden. Okay, it's two different type of ticket. One's $1,000, one is, I don't know, $500. Okay, last question is, it's not a question, it's just a comment. If someone is in the process of printing, I want to skip this one. If a doctor treats desperately ill people on a regular basis, and he must write down the patient statistics and instructions on Shabbat, it is advisable that he use pen filled with ink that disappears by itself after a couple of days. Likewise, soldiers and security personnel who must write things on Shabbat for security reasons should use such ink. To be honest with you, I don't know if doctors in Israel hospital are using it. I was aware to a different technique. What they do, they have a non-Jew sitting on the desk. They just dictating the prescription, and they would write. Today they just putting on the computer, and that's it. That solves many problems easier. It's better always to do it with a non-Jew that he will say to another Jew. But it's better than writing. Today, they have many non-Jews in the hospital that are helping the doctor and helping each other to benefit the people that needs this treatment. Toda rabba, everybody, for listening. We'll be back in 5 minutes. Stay tuned. On behalf of Kotev Israel Foundation, I want to thank everybody that participated in this class, that participated in this house, and those who watch us. And especially to Medina's family that are hosting this class. God bless them with all the berachot in the Torah, health, and good parnasah. Toda rabba. Shalom, shalom. Thank you.